Today, 108 players begin the journey, which they hope will end with the leap into Poppy's Pond and Damon, the history books.
No doubt about it. We'll also take you inside the ropes at the Shell Houston Open to players like Phil Mickelson and Ricky Fowler. Who's in good form and who's still searching ahead of the first major championship of the year in the men's game.
And you know what? You can learn from the best. All you got to do is watch and learn. It's all coming up on a major morning drive now. And good morning, welcome inside Studio AP. 3 hours of morning drive as we start what is a major push. It's a glorious time of the year. Gary Williams, Damon Hack, the rest of the gang in just a moment. Partner, did you like this show, What's Happening?
Sure.
It's a great show.
We had Rerun and that whole crew.
Absolutely right.
Why did you bring that up?
Yeah, the young viewers are going, what are you talking about? Well, what is happening now? Well, I'll tell you what's happening. It's the first major in the professional game. It starts today. We're very much looking forward to it. And Damon, weather could be a big factor.
No doubt. Players getting ready to tee off at the Shell Houston Open. This is the 70th edition of this great event. Players like Ricky Fowler, Phil Mickelson, will show you them on the driving range. Tee time is beginning at 8:20 Eastern Time. Who's looking good ahead of the Masters, Gary?
Well, you're a very social gentleman.
I try to be.
Well, you are, and you pull it off. Let's do some social. Oh, great. We start the show with this. No shoulders, no friends. And Owen Brown agrees. One of the not-so-friendly Mississippians this week in the MGR Classic. But that's okay. No, it's not okay.
It's not okay. That is frightening. How about some more snakes? This is a fake one, blessedly. But Brock Osweiler, the Cleveland Browns quarterback, doesn't know that. I hope he has that quick first step playing against the Ravens and the Steelers this season.
Yeah, with the offensive line in Cleveland, he's going to need to move like that. You know what? I'm not going to make fun of him. Now, I want you to look closely. That's Sean Payton. Sean, why are you holding on to the club? Let go of the driver and get away.
I haven't seen a moonwalk like that since the days of Michael Jackson. Look at him. Falling backwards. Wow. How about Jack Nicklaus and Lee Trevino? 1971, Marion, a moment of levity.
Sure, why not? Going to play 18 holes against the greatest player in the game. And boy, he got the best of him on several occasions in major championships. 68 at Oak Hill, 71 there at Marion.
Speaking of 68, he shot 68 in that playoff, and Jack Nicklaus shot 71. What a great time of year this is, though. Now we got major championships this week and next week as well.
Yeah, it really is. And I think, you know, the texture of these two events, there's a lot of commonalities between the two of them. The players look forward so much to being first at the ANA and then, of course, for the men at the Masters at Augusta National next week.
The ANA starts today. I know two players who've competed in a combined 9 ANA inspirations 9 times. That's Paige McKenzie and Amanda Bloomhurst. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Again, glad that Amanda is joining us this week, an LPGA player, former 3-time NCAA Player of the Year. How are you doing this morning?
I'm loving it. I love being here. This is a great crew.
And it's a great week for the LPGA out at the ANA Inspiration, but they might be facing a challenge today as they're anticipating some high winds in the afternoon. If you look at the forecast, not so bad in the morning, but come 3 o'clock, those wind gusts up to 25 miles an hour, and for those players bringing the pins in, up to 40 miles an hour in the evening. Of course, this area is known for their wind. You know those wind turbines? Over 4,000 of them in the Palm Springs area.
Ah, good to know. Good to know. Fun
more
fact.
importantly, how is that going to affect the golf course for the players today?
This is going to benefit those early tee times. This is when, as a player, you're looking at your tee sheet and you go, yes, I'm at 7:30. I'm off before the gusts start coming. Because not only is it going to change the course, right now, a reachable par 5 might not be reachable. Or a par 5 that you were going to play in 3 shots, and all of a sudden you can hit into 2. So it's going to change the course, but also it's going to dry everything out. And it's already a dry course. It's in the desert. So it's going to firm up the greens, and it's going to make the fairways roll through. Firm up the fairways, firm up the greens. It's going to change things besides the fact of, all right, now I've got to hit it low because a gust could balloon it into the water. It's a mind game. It's fun, but I'd be looking, yes, that's 7:30.
And unfortunately, if you do have the afternoon, it's going to be a much more difficult golf course to face this afternoon. And we have got a lot of players out there now in the women's first major of the season. Talk to me about a player that you're keeping an eye on that maybe is trending upwards and maybe just a little bit under the radar.
Under the radar, Austin Ernst. That is my pick.
Okay.
She is playing some very solid golf. She just is coming off of T2, second place finish at the Kia Classic with a 14 under. So very, very solid golf. And also she is an excellent ball striker. Plays extremely confidently, beautiful solid swing, and doesn't get too rattled, which is huge in a major. She right now is a very average putter, so ranked 89th in putting. So she's going to need to get that putter rolling, which she did last week at Kia. So just keep that momentum, keep that frame of mind, and I like what she's doing. She's already won. It was back in 14.
Yep.
So a couple of years, but just such consistently solid golf right now. Keep your eye out on her.
And a very confident player, is a former NCAA champion as well. Well, I'm keeping my eye on a player that has never reached the winner's circle on the LPGA Tour. It's hard to believe, but Karine Hichet, the French woman, has been out on the LPGA Tour now for 15 years and just always consistently 43 top 10s. The last 3 race to the CME Globes, she was 26th, 20th, and 37th on that list. So this is a player that's constantly up there, but not necessarily breaking through. But I'm seeing a trend for this woman ranked 36th in the world. She's finished 25th, 13th, and tied for 4th in her last 3 starts. So trending upwards as she enters this first major, and she wouldn't, of course, be that first French woman. We know Patricia Mounier-Lebouc has already won that event. I know that's a tongue twister, so Damon, off to you.
Merci beaucoup, Paige. I tell you what, they say the stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas, we got some stars this morning. We'll take you inside the ropes, the likes of Phil Mickelson, the World Golf Hall of Famer. How about Jon Rahm? What a week he had in Austin. What a revelation he has been this season. Ricky Fowler, already a winner in the 2016-17 campaign. He got it done at the Honda Classic. And finally, a major champion in Jimmy Walker, looking for some momentum here in 2017. As we take a look at some tee times here, a former world #1 Lee Westwood, a tour champion in Chad Campbell and Andres Gonzalez. I know you spent some time in Houston, Gary, talking to the former world #1 Lee Westwood. What's the state of his game and state of his mind at age 43?
I'll tell you this, Damon. He looks very, very fit. You know, sometimes his weight may fluctuate a little bit, but he looks really, really good. And one thing I asked him, you know, he made a real commitment, moved over here, settled in South Florida, but he is back over in England. And I said to him, I said, do you miss it? And all I said, I don't miss it one bit.
Wow.
He could not be happier. I said, do you see yourself coming back here? He said, no. No, and I said, well, how much are you going to play in the States? He said, I'm not in the Players right now. All I'm doing is focusing on the Masters. And, of course, last year he finished second for the second time. So you just wonder if the window is still open. But he was working on the putting green with Billy Foster, which is the key for him.
Yeah.
Everything around the greens, he's still a superior ball striker, but his state of mind is outstanding.
Do you think he has the belief to be the player that he was just 5-6 years ago when he was contending every year for a major championship?
You know, that would be speculation. I didn't ask him that question. Okay. But I believe that. I believe somebody who's won 23 times on the European Tour, has contended in so many majors, that I don't think he thinks his window is closed. I don't.
Charlie Reimer is someone who would call him one of the more sentimental favorites
for sure.
To win a major championship. One of the best players really in history without a major championship. Someone with a major championship got it done last year. Henrik Stenson got it done at Troon, playing alongside another major champion, the 2013 Masters champ Adam Scott, a former world #1, and a past Shell Houston Open champ in J.B. Holmes. Henrik Stenson, rested and ready going into the major championship season.
Yeah, very much so. And he always likes to give the needle. It's the first thing he does when he sees me. He's like, what are you doing here? Actually, a lot of players always say that. What are you doing here? But by taking off last week, he feels very, very fresh. Now, his record at Augusta National is not as good as it is in some of the other major championships, but he thinks he's made the right decisions on his schedule, and he feels as good as he's felt and as refreshed as he's felt because he's been very particular about how much he's going to play. And you know how he is. He plays so much late in the year.
Yeah.
He's committed to those events on the European Tour when we're getting into the months of October and November. I don't know if you ever saw the show The Fall Guy with Lee Majors. I know Paige McKenzie never has. Every time I bring up these references of shows from the 70s and 80s, she goes, what are you talking about? But he is the fall guy, but he feels really good.
The older we get, the better those shows get, don't they?
You better believe it. Yeah.
All right, much more insight and some highlights as well. Let's take it more into Bailey Moser. Bailey, how are you?
Good morning, I'm good, although I'm confused. I also do not know what Gary is referring to.
Come on!
I don't. I'm sorry. I wasn't born in the 70s. Time now to look at some social media. One of the beauties of traveling, playing the PGA Tour is you go to some of the funnest cities in the world, and when you're not playing and practicing, what do? Well, if you're Bud Cauley, you go check out some of the scenery, what's going on out there. He posted this to Instagram. Such a cool day touring NASA. Unbelievable experience. Really came away with an appreciation for how intelligent the men and women of NASA are and how much attention to detail they all have. He is off at 11:40 a.m. Eastern time today for his first round. Hopefully he will play out of this world today. So it's time now for the tee sheet. What's coming up? We are with you until 10 a.m. So the Drive, Chip and Putt Championship, it is this Sunday, folks. That is right. At 8 a.m. Eastern time, you can catch the action right here on Golf Channel. And one task facing the kids will be precision with the flat stick. So Travis Fulton, he's got a tip for distance control coming up that will resonate with golfers of all ages. Now, Travis, he's helping you with the physical aspect of the game, but we've also got the mental aspect covered this morning. A mental coach, he's going to join us later and teach us how to conquer those first tee nerves. And if Casey Wittenberg had any first tee nerves this past Sunday on the Web.com tour, you wouldn't have known it. The 32-year-old posted a final round 69 to win the third Web.com event of his career, and he joins us live later this morning to tell us about his circuitous route back into the winner's circle. Damon used circuitous in a sentence.
Love it, Circuitous. This is a Circuitous 3-hour show coming up. We're covering all the big names in golf. They're in California and they're in Texas. 3 big hours for you. You ready, G-Dub?
I'm ready. And by the way, Bentley, I wasn't born in the 70s either. We're back right after this.
I was going to say, I'm going to leave that alone.